Rule number 1 of making flags, keep them simple. But the Irish, they take that to a whole nother level. Obviously, we have the national Irish flag, very iconic, but it goes even deeper than that. They legit will only throw 3 colors on at most. On average, it's only 2 colors. For this place, they don't even want color. There's a white flag. That's gotta be a confusing place to live in if you're colorblind. Well, flags in general are just confusing if you're colorblind. Like this just big ol' orange flag. Don't need to put anything on it. And I think there's a rebellion here and down, clearly. The peasant revolt has risen up. I wonder if they find this stuff super offensive whenever you do make it a little bit more complicated. Ireland in the style of Cyprus. And this was actually found in the wild, in real life. This person went above and beyond for this thing. This is the real life coat of arms of a city in Hungary. It is kind of unbelievable. I think that is exactly what I imagine it to be. Some random person's severed head. How were they allowed to get away with this? They've been forced to change it or nothing? At least there's not like a bunch of blood running down this. That would have been really bad. But what's worse, the fact that this happened to this guy, or the fact that he was taken out by just a random arm? Imagine getting oofed by a random arm. I know it had a sword, but there's no brain in that. It was recently Uruguay's National Day, and Uruguay is actually the only country on Earth with 3 official flags. I never knew this, and I don't even think I've seen the other 2. I only know this one. Why do they have 3 though? You can also see it in the background. These are considered, in fact, the co-official flags. It was formerly known as the Uruguayan Naval Jack from 1939 to 1990. Then there's the flag of 33. 33? The flag of 33? Is that what their goal is one day, to have 33 official flags? Gotta say, at least this one is unique. It's like the Union Jack, except only one, like, corner piece. Speaking of naval jacks though, this might be the coolest of them all. This is the Netherlands naval jack. Does everyone just make cool naval jacks? This looks like I'm like blasting off into space, going into light speed mode. Why have they been so secretive about this whole time? National flag with the highest percentage of each color. I think we've kind of looked into this, but not of every color. I know that China is the most red flag we have, at least as of right now. What if the USSR comes back though? Bhutan has the most orange with 39% of their flag dedicated to this color. Yellow is Brunei, almost half of it. Saudi Arabia gets lucky because they use this super thin font. There's a lot of green flags though. Blue goes to Micronesia. Purple is the Dominica with 0.3. It just wins by default because no one else has purple. Same for Spain with pink, 0.1 pink. So it gets the title. That's amazing because I think we all live in Spain. Just the S is silent. Gray goes to the Vatican City with 2%. Brown to Andorra. Black to Libya. They actually have a lot of black in that. And then white is Cyprus. It's not Japan. Japan just has a circle. How does Cyprus beat out them? That green category is just lucky that Libya didn't have their old 2011 flag on it still. Legitimately, it was just a green rectangle. Imagine flying just a green rectangle. You gotta have some balls to do that, and I respect that too. Coat of arms of the 20 largest cities in Italy by number of inhabitants. So at the very end, we have Medina. I thought we were talking about the vaccine for a second there. Then there's Taranto. This guy doing something weird with his dolphin. Great idea to throw that on a coat of arms. I like this straight up just rip off of Sweden, and I guess England. I mean, there's really only so many color combinations you can do without, like, yeah, kind of ripping somebody off. Nice little elephant. Does this have to do with Carthage at all? Maybe an old reference. That's famous. Genoa. This one's got way too much going on. Why does this look like a shitty YouTube thumbnail? Actually, why does this look like one of my thumbnails? But the most epic of all, very clearly, is Roma. I had no idea their coat of arms literally said spark. That is really cool. I love that they've just completely embraced that. That should just be the Italian flag. Screw it. The United States in the style of Bosnia. Kind of hard to tell because it looks like just some random construction paper was cut out, probably by like a first grader. They would have got like a solid C, I would say. I do like the inclusion of Alaska and Hawaii. I didn't know if that was Hawaii or a random pyramid in the desert. Either one works. In 1946, the US flag was lowered and the Filipino flag was raised, signifying their independence. This must have been a crazy moment too because they had been put through so much Spanish occupation, Japanese occupation, then us. Maybe not exactly in that order, somewhere around there in that order. Pinoy Pride. Believe it or not, this is actually the set of a movie being filmed in Scotland. You would have fooled me. I almost scrolled right by this. I don't want to see some random picture of some eastern city on the coast. But nope, there you can see it. This is actually the Bank of Scotland. And is that like the British flag that they had to... Are those like British flags crumpled up? This does not look like Scotland. This really looks like New York or something. Were we just copying the Scottish architecture this whole time? Is that where we got it from? This is apparently the brand new Hong Kong flag. I didn't even know they had a new flag. You would think that I'd be the first one to be updated. Where's my letter of notification, Hong Kong? Am I not like one of the first people you should be informing? Oh wait, maybe this wasn't like an official thing. My bad. Maybe that's got to be the reason why they didn't tell me about it. It's a democratic flag. Stands for independence. Oh. Okay. South Africa in the style of Norway, or a Nordic country, whatever. South Africa seems like a very fitting Nordic country. This actually does look pretty good though. How would they respond to being another colony again? Would they be okay with that? Maybe Sweden, Norway, Denmark, they could maybe grab that. The similarities between Puerto Rico and Cuba. I guess I unconsciously knew this, but to see it addressed like this finally, it is a little weird. Especially because they're so close next to each other. I mean, not right next to each other though. That's like Haiti and the Dominican Republic. But like, you know, skip over this island and then there you go. I guess we also don't see it that often since Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. It's not like its own thing. Still, I mean, we were talking about Nordic flags. Maybe the Caribbean should all have similar flags. I don't think they'd be down for that, but I'm just saying. The heraldry this time of the 20 largest cities in Germany. Now this seems very different. We got a lot of extra details with this one. Clearly Germany is going with like the anti-Irish strategy. They're just trying to make this shit as complicated as possible. I love the old references to like that HRE flag. Oh, this is cool too. That's probably when a lot of these actually were started. That's probably why we keep seeing it. All these coat of arms were designed when they were still under the Holy Roman Empire. Ooh, they said screw this like flying thing. We're gonna put a horse on ours. It looks like this place gave him like a mohawk. Got a mohawk with a fly swatter. Never just seen a book slapped on a coat of arms. That's different. I've seen Hamburg before. That actually looks very similar to the Cambodian flag. Did anyone realize that? I mean, hey, when you have like a cool structure in your territory, you gotta show it off at all times, even if it is on the flag. Just simple background and a building. You gotta love it. Minimalism at its extreme. So Nepal finally figured that out like over the course of the last couple centuries. They've been slowly making it more simplified. 1774, I don't know what was going on, but you can actually see the teeth. So those country balls drawing like Nepal as some sort of scary monster. It was true. This legitimately does look like a scary monster with teeth and hair. In 1939, they're like, yeah, maybe we don't need to make it all gold with all those teeth. Let's put these creepy faces on it with like 2 noses. Is that a nose? Please tell me that's just a nose. And it comes to 1958. I think there's still something going on. I don't really know. But the design of the face is much less creepy this time, so I appreciate that. 1962, though, is epic. It's based. Let's just get rid of the faces. There's some countries in South America that probably should do the same thing. Creepy places on a flag just doesn't make any sense. But epic job overall, Nepal. They should be given an award for this. The flag of Denmark, Germany, and the UK, I think, after being exposed to the sun. I guess we don't even know if this is Denmark. Is this on some sort of trash can? So this was put on like a trash can, and then over the course of years, the sun just kind of destroyed the colors. This would be what happened if we made flags out of plastic containers. I know all of you have probably wondered that question before. We do know it's Danish though, since I'm assuming this is probably Danish. So red will turn to white. White will just go invisible. Wait, but that didn't happen to the German one. Oh wait, yes it did. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of the old German flag. That's how you know I'm messed up in the head. I was thinking like the white in the middle and the red down here. The final design and emblem of North Korea, chosen in the 60s. Note the like other test runs they were doing on the left-hand side. Yeah, I do think this is probably the most based. These ones are just kind of whatever. This straight up looks like Kim Jong-il. I mean, I know it's his grandfather, so that would make sense, but it's weird. It's weird. Strange looking flag at Robert E. Lee's crypt. I didn't even know he had one of these, to be honest. Where is this? I guess it's supposed to be the Society of Cincinnati. It's like something made up of like French and American descendants, specifically officers during the Revolutionary War. This was not during the Revolutionary War, so it's a little confusing. These are the most common meaning behind the colors of national flags. More often than not, red will equal blood, white will equal peace, blue is sea, green is land. Brown is nature. Wouldn't that be kind of similar? Land and nature. Orange is religion? I wonder why they chose that. Black means people, yellow is wealth, gray is silver. Birds and rainbows? Well, we saw there's not too many flags with purple on them anyways. You literally have like a flag with purple on it, you just make up your meaning. I'm gonna start a country and just make it a purple background, that's it. And I'm gonna say that purple stands for being epic. Only people that are epic can do this. Flowers, shading, and lions. Okay, now you're BSing. Nobody really has pink on the flags, you just had to make something up. I don't believe you. An incredible design if for some reason Northern Ireland and Scotland left, but Wales did not. The union between Wales and England, and they kind of wanted to do like their Union Jack thing. I mean, it doesn't look... It's a good attempt. It should be recognized as a good attempt. Alright guys, we're gonna need to be a little bit more careful with the flags in the background. Not sure if you guys realize this flag is upside down. This is no longer the Yemen flag. This is a flag that I mentioned much earlier. How do we know that these people aren't organizing to revive the old Imperial German Empire? That seems like a fun meeting. Thanks for the invite. This Olympic Center in Lake Placid still has a lot of old flags. One of them being East Germany. That's crazy to see in the wild, not gonna lie. And the only thing crazier is Yugoslavia. Is that all ripped up too? Who designed these flags? This material sucks. I've seen USSR flag before in the wilds. Just weird to admit. I guess also Yugoslavian flag, but that's cool. They're just not gonna take these down. It's like a sign of the times. A map of South America, if all the flags flowed into each other. This is beautiful, actually. This is really satisfying, especially the transition between Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela. I mean, obviously, you know, they had their own little thing for a little bit, Gran Colombia. So when they split up, you know, they kind of were inspired by like similar origins, I guess. But to see it put into this way, that is cool. Then there's Peru, which has helped contributing to Bolivia's red and Chile's red. Actually, even Paraguay too. Love that Argentina and Uruguay also kind of working together, spreading the blue out. And the creepy face, there's more creepy face. Kind of hard to fit all these three in there, but hey, they tried their best. Still a cool design. A new flag for Belgium proposed in 2008. Which this is perfect that it was proposed in 2008, since like the only internet video quality we had access to was 240p. Why not have a Belgium flag that's in 240p? Or is this 144p? I don't even know. Quality looks like shit. I love when my internet's buffering and YouTube has to play it like this. This is what's being called the uncursed Union Jack. Or basically, if everything was like perfectly centered, I still to this day don't know why they don't do this. I mean, there's obviously meaning behind it, but I just don't get it. I feel like this is actually gonna piss a lot of people off because they probably never noticed it before, but now they definitely will. Now with everything nicely centered, not all outstretched in widescreen mode like that. I mean, it's bothering me. Like, why just can't do it like this? This is more satisfying. All Hawaiian flags. Didn't realize there was actually this much history of Hawaiian flags. So this is the current Hawaiian flag, which, you know, it's been needing an update for a while. They've had this since 1845. If we go all the way back, initially they were flying the flag of Hawaiian Red Cross? No, they did not. Is this like just a spin-off thing that they had for a second there? Was this a possible union they were going to form between Switzerland? Did Switzerland colonize them for a second? I didn't hear about that. There's whatever this flag is, which looks like a really good fast food restaurant. I don't know, is that just me? Here's the Nation of Hawaii flag, sovereignty organization. Oh, this is pretty cool. What are those stars representing? They should do like stars to represent like all the islands. That was the idea that I had. Maybe that's what this is trying to do. The inverted Hawaiian flag, the official flag of Hawaii sovereignty independence movement. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Make that upside down, say, hey, get out of here, UK. Here's the flag of the indigenous inhabitants of Hawaiian Islands. Like all the green. Naval Jack of the Kingdom of Hawaii. Maybe I take back what I said about naval jacks. This was a king's own personal flag. That's kind of cool. Why do I feel like this icon was meant to be like a PNG image though? Like he had the background and he dragged it over. Oh crap, it's just a white background. It's not transparent like I thought. Screw it, we're just gonna keep it anyways. All history flag of the Warsaw Pact, except Russia remained a monarchy. So we have a whole lot of Eastern European coat of arms right here. Poland, Slovenia, Albania, I think. A little bit of Hungary there. But it's all within the old school, like Russian sort of vibe. That'd have been interesting. A Warsaw Pact where Russia remained a monarchy. Do I want to dive into this rabbit hole? I think it could be done. I could think of that scenario, how that could be plausible. Someone designed a flag for the Strait of Gibraltar. Very important place. It's the mouth of the Mediterranean. The flag would represent Europe on one side and Africa on the other. And the blue, of course, the Mediterranean and the Atlantic meeting. That is pretty cool, I guess. I wish the blue was a different, like, hue of blue. Did I use that right? There's so many different ways you could say the tone of blue. I don't know. I think I want a darker, deeper blue. Someone's proposed new EU flag instead of the boring EU flag we have now. Why not just say what we want it to be? We're all thinking it. Why not just put it out there like that? It's basically like a new Rome, 21st century Rome, I guess. Just gotta start building roads everywhere. Maybe drink some lead. Just kidding, don't do that. A selection of presidential standards. Are these flags of presidents? Oh yeah, I've seen that one before with the USA. I didn't know that everyone does that. The presidents have their own flags? Oh, that Irish one is a beauty. I love that. I mean, I normally like green, but this dark blue looks good. South Korea's got some interesting things going on. Also, Indonesia, not very contrasty colors, but it's different. Gotta appreciate that. Germany's still going old school, trying to do that Holy Roman Empire. Greece just got this cross right here. Love how some are just going like really old school. Some just use like a symbol, the Slovakia one. I didn't realize this was such a big thing. Presidential flags. Why wasn't I informed of this? Presidential standard or presidential flag is a flag that is used in many countries as a symbol of the head of state, and equivalent in a monarchy as the royal standard. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Now it's making sense. I mean, I guess, yeah, if kings have them, then we can give presidents too. Wow, and there's actually a lot. There's actually way more than just that post. Why don't we talk about this more often? Presidential flags. That's like kind of important, don't you think? Not really, but Clearly, because they're given like just basic squares over here. Some places don't want to think that hard about it. Someone's design for the flag of Antarctica. I actually think I might like this one more. The whole simplicity thing. Antarctica doesn't currently have a flag, but there is one generally believed to be the flag. It looks something like this, basically an outline of Antarctica. I do like the other one better, but then I forgot that there's also this. This is kind of cool. You don't see very many lines usually on flags. I don't know. I like this too. Let's just give the entire continent to Japan, so we really don't have a choice. They got to go with the giant dot. Flags by the number of colors. I think we've seen something similar to this before. We're starting off with 6. Andorra, Croatia, Paraguay, Portugal, South Africa, even South Sudan have 6 colors. 6, it gets a little crazy. But when you focus a lot of the other colors, like on the inside, like the way Portugal does it, Croatia, I think it's okay. South Sudan get a little wild. Like, I don't know if we need all this. Dominica uses 7. And then there's Fiji. Again, if it's all in a coat of arms, I don't think it looks too bad. Oh, US is doing this. 7. Green, blue, red, dark blue, white, yellow. Where's the 7th color? I don't know then. Black. Costa Rica has 8. Didn't even realize that. Very easy to forget that. And all the way down here, St. Pierre and M. 9. I don't think I've ever seen that flag in my life. Where did this come from? Then finally, Belize. Belize has a whole, like, portrait inside of their flag. Just having a little party in there. 12 colors. The 18 rainbow flags. There's surprisingly been a lot of rainbows in flags throughout history. El Salvador has a rainbow in their coat of arms. There's also this Jewish autonomous thing in Russia. They've been doing this since 1996. This looks like the album cover to like Pink Floyd or something, like a new Dark Side of the Moon. This LGBT one was adopted in 1978 and is slowly kind of transitioned. There's also Cusco, which I just recently heard about. They threw a little emblem on here in 2021. Here's a flag variant for Bolivia. Then there's the Peace Movement. I'm still confused why that says PACE though. It probably stands for something, right? They didn't actually just leave out the E. It'd be greater if they did. How hilarious would that be? The International Cooperative Alliance, that was ended in 2001. I wonder why that is. What happened in 2001? There's this thing in Peru, which, I mean, is very close to a rainbow. I guess it is a rainbow, kind of. Those are some weird rainbow colors, though. Santa Cruz County, California. Been in Santa Cruz a couple times. Never knew they had this flag. There's this Indian guru that has something like this. I like the addition of the light blue up here. Whatever state this is, and this is the one that I most oftenly refer to, Armenia. This was a flag proposal of Armenia in 1918. That could have happened. Armenia, it's its own country. That was the closest we had. There's a lot of like smaller regions that have like rainbows, but you know, Armenia kind of a big deal. Who's gonna adopt one of these next?
And big thanks to the July patrons.
Abolish Wyoming 2021.
Drew's Argentinian grandpa.
AryanAfterHours.
I'm about a nut.
Lolo.
Yo.
LuxembourgLover.
Mine Brothers 99
Poppy
X2.
Drew.
Patrick C.
Popcorn 2008.
Peter T.
Stormtrooper 501.
Zeffi.
Manny.
Kaylee K.
Hawks.
EpiNick.
Full Send
Elijah
Nick.
Senpai.
Alfonso
Barnes
M6.
Aaron
CW.
F.
Dalton
and Aaron
D.
F.